like I said before, I mean, Dave Canales was brought in to try and, help develop Bryce Young. And they try to bring weapons, but these weapons weren't good. Deontay Johnson, not very good. He's average. Adam Thielen, average. They just have a bunch of average playmakers. And I understand Dave Canales was brought here to try and develop Bryce Young because they saw what they saw from Geno Smith and they saw what they saw from Baker Mayfield, but it's just tough. So giving up on him on 2 weeks in the season is not the way I would have done it. I would have said, I would have kept playing him, in my opinion. Yeah, I know it's bad, but I would have kept playing him. His time in Carolina is unfortunately done. I think they're going to probably part ways with him in this offseason. And hopefully a team that wants him and can see his potential and see his value can maximize his talent. I see potentially maybe a team like the Vegas Raiders. There's a couple teams. But I know he hasn't had a fair chance in Carolina. I just think Carolina is just a terrible place to go for quarterbacks because they just don't know how to manage quarterbacks. It's hard to see. Moving on to some other games. Sunday night game, I watched the Bears and Texans game. Honestly, that game took forever in my opinion. I literally came back to my dorm and I go into the bathroom and change. And the game is still in the middle of the third quarter. It was ridiculous. But honestly, the Bears, this is expected. Caleb Williams is looking like a rookie. He just looks like a rookie quarterback out there. It's just, he's realizing that I can't dominate every play because he's not in college, he's not in the Pac-12 anymore. Realizing that, yes, all NFL players are just as equally skilled as I am. So, or athletic as he is. So it's gonna be some learning curves, obviously, for sure. I think what they did miss was Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is definitely that guy who you need to extend the chains and move the chains. I just don't think they really had that in terms of the game. That's kind of why they couldn't really move the ball and score. But it's some learning curves, You have to learn and do some learning. This is how a rookie plays. I don't know why everybody's trying to make fun of him and whatnot. It's a rookie. He's only 2 games in his NFL career. The Texans, on the other hand, their defense looks really good. So was the Bears. It was a very defensive game. Stroud and Nico Collins is a dog. Nico Collins is a certified dog. So, and CJ Stroud might be one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL. So it was good to see that. And I know it's time to talk about. Actually, before we even talk about the Eagles game, I also want to talk about the Chiefs and Bengals game that also happened. Before I even talk about the Eagles game, I was about to talk about the Eagles. I was about to vent. I'm going to. The Bengals outplayed the Chiefs. The Bengals should have won against the Chiefs. Now, Joe Burrow outplayed Mahomes. Their defense shut down the Chiefs' offense. The people I'm telling you, Joe, they had the Chiefs dead to rights on 4th and 16 and 4th and 4. They had them dead to rights. Unfortunately, yes, the Chiefs do get away with a lot of flags, but nobody can sit here and tell me that wasn't a pass interference. He got to the ball too early. He got to the receiver way too early. Rashee Rice, it was a catchable ball, and Rashee Rice didn't have a chance to even try and attempt and catch the ball. Unfortunately, it was a pass interference. But the Bengals should have won that game. They should have won the game. It's tough. It really is. It sucks, but they should have won. But they didn't. This is the second time in a row that Joe Burrow has played against Patrick Mahomes, and the game has ended on a penalty that has put the Chiefs into Butker range, and the game's over. It's tough. What can you do? It's interesting to see how the Bengals play out this season because they've had some drama with, obviously, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I'm just so confused with their general manager. Why doesn't he want to pay Jamar Chase? Why can't you just say, here's the contract. We're giving you $29 million per year. T. Higgins, here you go. We're giving you $24 million per year. I'm confused. Why doesn't like? Is there something else? Is there something else that the Bengals are achieving for in terms of spending their money on? Because they tried spending money on their offensive line and it just hasn't worked. It hasn't helped. I mean, the offensive line still looks mediocre at best. I don't know. If they want to keep the window open, they got to pay their guys. As far as the Chiefs, I think the Chiefs' kryptonite is Cincinnati. I think the only team that makes them look like that is Cincinnati. The defense looked great. I mean, Cam Taylor-Britt, did you see that one-hand interception he had? That was disgusting and filthy. The only team that makes the Chiefs look like that is Cincinnati. So, they should have won. And now, it's time to talk about the Eagles. Now, I'm sitting here in my dorm room last night, my dorm, and I crashed out several times throughout the game. I thought without A.J. Brown, it's a different offense for sure. Maybe with A.J. Brown, they win. Who knows? I don't know. You don't know. So who knows? With A.J. Brown, do they win? Potentially. But Jalen had to, be that hero. He had to play a lot of carrying the load of the offense. And I thought he did a phenomenal job throughout the game. A lot of people have been saying, even myself, saying that his legs aren't even a value anymore. They're not valuable. They don't look like he doesn't look like his legs are literally a primary threat anymore, because also teams have taken away by sacking the box, and he just doesn't look that fast anymore. But he showed that his legs are still a threat. The one drive where he went down 70 yards downfield, the 3rd and 11, the 3rd and 16s, the 4th down. I mean, I was so pissed that when they gave him a 5-yard penalty for showing emotion. It's like, no. Okay, Jalen, pump your chest. Spiking the ball, like what the fuck? I can't curse. I couldn't believe that Jalen, when he spiked the ball, they gave him a penalty. Like, what? Why are you giving him a penalty for that? Are you serious? Come on. I couldn't believe it. But the refs, they were equally bad. They had some bad moments in the game against us, particularly us. I thought Saquon. Let me get to Saquon. I thought Saquon, besides what happened in the fourth quarter, he played a great game. Another great game. I mean, every run is like 7+ yards. Like yards, he's averaging at least 6 yards per carry. It's ridiculous. Like in the beginning of the game, the first drive, Kellen Moore doesn't get the ball to Saquon Barkley. Like, why? Give the ball to your back. But then he realized I have Saquon Barkley on my team, and he's really, really good. Devontae Smith is really, really good as well. He played a phenomenal game. I thought Covey had some nice moments too. It's just so frustrating losing this game that you should have won. The offensive line, for the most part, played a very clean game. What we do have to clean up is the RPOs, because you can't really blame the offensive line sometimes for RPOs, because the offensive line can't see the quarterback. Their job is to block, so they don't know if it's a run or a pass. They don't know if it's a run or a pass, so guys are just sitting there like, what? Like, I don't know. So it's tough with the legal man downfield, but they have to clean that up. But I think they will clean that up. The play calling in the first half was very weak. I thought the red zone play calling in the first half was very weak from Kellen Moore. I just did not like it. But in the second half, it was a lot better. I thought Jalen played a phenomenal. I thought he played a really good game. I thought he played a really good game to win. He extended drives. He used his legs. He was accurate. There were some throws that he made. I was like, wow, that's a great throw. The touchdown throw to Devontae Smith, that was a dime. I thought he managed the game very, very well. I thought he looked like a franchise quarterback to me last night, the way how he's playing. But and then we get to the fourth quarter, and the defense. Now I'm talking about the defense. I have never, ever, with the Howie Roseman Eagles team, Eagles defensive line this bad. And it's not like Howie has forgot about the position. He has invested in that line. Draft picks, money, Bryce Huff. A lot of people were I saw a lot of people were giving hate to Bryce Huff, even me myself. I'm literally watching the play. Bryce Huff is adjusting his helmet mid-play while trying to make a tackle. If you want to adjust your helmet, Bryce Huff, we can go pay your money to the equipment manager. We can get $30 million to the equipment manager for adjusting your helmet. But I'm gonna give him some leeway because it's still his first 2 games. But he has looked bad. A lot of people on Twitter were saying, well, Hassan Reddick was really bad his first 2 weeks of the season for Philadelphia. So let's try to give him a break. All right, fine. But he just still looked bad. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, they just looked horrible. They looked horrible. Jordan Davis, I'm starting to he just hasn't been that great of a pick so far. I mean, he was great to begin the season last year, and he had some great moments his rookie season. But it's just he's just been disappointing to start this year so far. It's just he's just getting completely manhandled. Same with Jalen Carter. Nolan Smith, did you see him getting chip blocked by Bijan Robinson? That was disgusting to look at. He got absolutely chipped. That chip block was disgusting. The run defense is trash. Bijan was averaging 8 yards a run. It's terrible. The defensive line, Kirk Cousins is coming off a torn Achilles, and he's 35 years old. Against the Steelers, he looked uncomfortable. He looked average. He played average last night. But we just gave him, we let him just sit there. It just as a statue. Guys, come on. Get to the quarterback. Your job is to get to the quarterback. And the guys can't do it. He just sat in there, just throwing down the field. Up, over the middle. And, honestly, to be honest, I understand the philosophy of the bend but don't break defense. Look, they look good in the red zone, for sure. But Kirk also missed 3 wide open dudes. There was a play where Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Raymond McLeod in the end zone on 3rd and goal were wide open. They had their mans beat. But Kirk was just I'm going to just throw it out of bounds because I don't trust. He was trying to look for Drake London, who wasn't open, and he just threw it out of bounds. Kirk was not comfortable. He was not comfortable as himself in terms of playing the quarterback position, but we did not make him uncomfortable. We did not. And look, I was saying well, why aren't we bringing the blitz? We brought the blitz a couple times, and he still was just sitting there. They gotta beat the man. Beat your. Oh my gosh. It was so frustrating to see him just sit there, uncomfortable. Kirk Cousins was inaccurate. He made poor decisions. He was not good. But we made it easy for him. We made it okay, Kirk, we'll make you make the easy throw. Oh my gosh. Some of his reads were just bad. But we gave him opportunities. Oh my gosh. Outside of the defensive line, the linebackers played well. The corners, Quinyon and Slay, played well up until the last drive of the game. And I'll get to that point. 4th quarter. Falcons have the ball. We get a huge stop from C.J. Gardner-Johnson. And he almost got flagged for taking off his helmet. I don't know if it would have. I think what would happen is we probably would have got a 5-yard penalty to start the drive for us because the play already happened. The play was dead. So I don't know if it would have affected the drive for the Falcons. But he made a great play. And I'm thinking after he made the play, I was thinking this game is over. We get 2 first downs. This game is over. That's what I was thinking. And we get a first down. It's 3rd and 3. And let me get in my bag here. Let me get in my bag here. The play, a lot of fans and the media are saying, well, why couldn't Nick Sirianni? People who are blaming this game on the coaches are just so lame to me because they don't watch sports and they don't understand football. Blaming the coaches for this is so lame and dumb because 3rd and 3. The Falcons are expecting a run. They haven't been able to stop Saquon all night. All night. They're stacking the box. They're bringing the safeties. They're expecting a run. Now, I understand burning the clock. Look, they're like, well, if you get maybe 2 yards or a yard or two, why couldn't you just tush push? I feel you. I understand that. That probably could have worked, but going for it on 4th down is still a little bit risky. It's still a little bit risky. You're like, well, maybe McCallie, they would have had the Falcons would have had 40 seconds, and you trust your defense, and they're sitting in their own 15. Yeah, probably, but I still don't trust the Eagles' defense to get you a stop, and the Falcons would have to go into field goal range, and we could have been to overtime. I still don't trust this defense. But let me get into that. The 3rd and 3 play call. They're like, well, you never pass in that situation to burn the clock. I feel you. It was risky, but you know what? It worked. It was 100% a risky play call. You never pass in that situation, but it was going to work. It worked. The play was called beautifully. It was drawn up beautifully. The pass couldn't have been more perfect. Jalen Hurts couldn't have thrown it any way better than he did to Saquon on that play. It was a perfect ball, a perfect call, and a perfect play. Saquon just dropped it. He just dropped it. He just dropped the ball. He just dropped it. You cannot blame Jalen. You cannot blame the coaches for the play call because it was a great call. It would have won the game. The play was designed to win the game, and it worked. It would have won the game. It would have won the game. He catches the ball. 1st down. It'd have been game over. Kneel the ball 3 times. This game's over. I'm not even speaking about this. Media's not even speaking about this. The Falcons fall to 0-2. We go to 2-0. But it didn't happen because he dropped it. Saquon, he played too well of a game to have that moment. He played too well. He played too well of a game to have that moment. Like, he's got to catch that. He's got to catch it, man. It was there. You got to catch it. You catch that ball, you run 2 yards, the game is over. We kneel down 3 times, we're on to New Orleans. And the defense, we kick the 3 points, we trust our defense, and they march down the field in 4 plays. This defense is so trash. After the game, I crashed out like several times. I literally was raging. I crashed out in my dorm room. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Literally, I had like this snack box. I punched it so hard that just chips were just flying everywhere. I couldn't believe it. I literally couldn't believe it. I just was shocked out of my mind. Kirk drives the ball down in 4 plays. This is the worst. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm so jealous of like Eagles fans who were Eagles fans in like the 2000s, who had defense, the guys like B-Dog and Try and the defensive line. And I remember, I forget the defensive coordinator's name, who was with Andy Reid, and all he did was just blitz, and it was a ferocious defense. Like I'm so jealous of those Eagles fans who were before my time and got to even the Eagles fans who experienced Reggie White and B-Dog. I'm so jealous. I'm jealous because those fans were able to experience a great defense. I have never been able to experience a great defense. I'm jealous. I'd rather have an elite defense than an elite offense. Are you like, oh my God, you're crazy? No, because we've had elite offenses and bad defenses. That's why we lost the Super Bowl. That is exactly why we lost the Super Bowl, because we had an elite offense, but our defense couldn't get off the field one time in the second half of the Super Bowl. Mahomes was on one leg. I've never been able to be comfortable in saying, oh, the defense got it. We good. The defense got us. They're good. They're elite. I have never been able to do it. It's like I gotta hold my breath every time whenever the defense comes on the field. I gotta hold my breath. And it's not Vic Fangio. It's the personnel. It's the players. They suck. They suck. The defensive line is atrocious. The linebacking core is atrocious, even though they've been playing well the past 2 weeks. They're atrocious. The secondary, they've been playing well. But Slay, bro, you got routed. And you gonna tell me after the game, yo, good route, my man. Hey, even though you beat me on that route, good route, bro. Good route, man. Good